Take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama. Oh, take me home, Counter Roads, almost Alabama, West Virginia, Midnight Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is older than the trees. You can get down the mountain, blow it like a breeze. Country road, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama. Oh, take me home, Country roads.
Hey, AOK Product Reviews, this is Rich. A little break.
So I served in the military, 1989 to 1993. Desert Shield, Desert Storm. I was a military police officer. Did that because I thought I wanted to be a police officer when I got out. So when I came into the military, I carried, because I was a police officer. Police officers and I guess just officers and other people too, but carry sidearms, whereas like a lot of others, when I was in, didn't. Like if you're infantry, armory, and all these different things, even armors carry sidearms. But whatever, who cares? But military police, we carried, my first issue sidearm was it wasn't even a Colt, I don't think, but it was a 1911 45 ACP. Looked just like this. This is a Colt. Isn't it beautiful? I love the blue everywhere. I do like nickel plate and stainless and all that chrome and all that stuff. It looks kind of cool. Blued look with blue grips is, to me, crazy. So this is the competition version. And it's got a nice trigger pull. And that's kind of what I'm going to show you here. Is I'm not going through the whole process of it all, but this is really neat. Look at this. It's got like the fiber tips, the front sight. There's no fiber dots on the rear, but I think you could probably push those out and put that stuff in there. Or there's like maybe an insert. Who knows? This is cool. They come off. You can put new ones on. You can adjust them. They're adjustable. It's a competition. Why would you not have adjustable sights on your pistol? That's not common on most or many. But I'll tell you right now, this thing is cool. So it's got a grip safety and all that. I don't want to go through all that though. What this is really about is showing you the trigger difference. But I'm doing it with a little bit of a story of my past because the first gun I carried was government issue for military police was an M1911 45 ACP. Then I could get the whole history of it when it swapped over and it changed and they decided to go with a different brand, a different manufacturer, and a different actual caliber was right when I was in the military. And it was kind of neat because we watched the retirement of the M1911 and then we got the Beretta. Now this isn't the Beretta that was used when I was in, obviously. It's not used now in there, but it's one of my favorite carry handguns. This is a Beretta PX4 Storm. Yeah, 9mm. It is by far my favorite handgun that I own, and I own a few. But the neat thing about this was I carried a Colt 1911 and I carried a Beretta. Now the Beretta I carried was this, not this, but this is what I carry now. Because what I do, and probably with a lot of things, but what I do right now, or what I'm doing with this is I make sure I owned the two handguns I carried in the military 30 years ago or more. I own a 1911 and I own a Beretta. It makes me feel good. And what's crazy is 30 years later, this is my preferred hand carry. And this is my preferred knock 'em down, a 45 ACP. And I keep one. Just, it's in a nice fancy box, similar to the Colt box, you know, because I have a Springfield as well. Springfield 1911. This Colt is just, it's fine. It's fine. And I mean fine. It's fine. Not, it's fine. Yeah. what I want to show you guys today is the difference. These aren't loaded. There's no rounds in them. No clip, no mag, jack. This is brand new. Still got the stuff on it. I don't want to take that off. I want to leave it on there for a minute. But my point is I want you to see the difference between a Colt 1911 competition and a Beretta PX4 Storm trigger draw. This is a standout on this gun. So first, I'm just going to show you. They say you're not supposed to dry fire much or at all, and they try to scare you. I think that's garbage. Technology now today, they protect these pins and stuff with the hammer on dry fires, things like that, and I think you're fine. Plus, you want to do that without shooting because you do want to know what that trigger pull does without a round in the chamber. You know what I mean? Because that's a competition trigger. Now, that's not like, of course, a Wilson Arms or something that's just going to be crazy, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8,000 handgun trigger, but that's a $1,000 M1911 trigger. Yeah. And I'm going to show you the difference. Not side by side yet, but watch this. And I love this. I don't mind this trigger. And I bet you a lot of real good handgun guys are like, oh my God. But watch. Yeah. Look, I mean, that is a full. So you can do it that way. And you don't have to pull. See how it did that? And you don't have to pull it back as far. But that's a lot of pull. You know, and I don't know the proper wording. So now, if you notice. Yeah, right there. Now, I'll put them side by side, and you can really see a big difference. So let me get the trigger charged. My terminology isn't the same as everybody else's because I don't care what they say. They don't write my books. Here we go. Watch this. It's a shame. I don't want to do a thumb pull on that trigger, but watch. That was a good representative of the difference of the timing. And when you think about the importance of timing when it comes to pulling a trigger on a weapon and it being even tenths, hundredths, thousandths of a second, it could still save your life or take your life. So that makes me nervous, and that makes me want to put a different trigger mechanism on my Storm. And I don't think that, like me, I'm experienced, but yet I don't shoot a lot anymore, or at all. I hardly do.
What is riding a bike? If you, I guess you were a beginner or a novice or an amateur, and you pulled this out and you were timid, it gives you so much. And look at that. This is without a cock.
That is so much. That travel is 3/4 of an inch. The travel on this, look at that. Now the pin's not dropping or anything because I'm over that. Right now though, this is still the travel. The travel is literally 3/16, maybe 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, big difference there. Huge difference. $600-700 gun now. I remember when these were only $450. Price is going up on them. I'm glad people like them. This is a great deal. This was $1,000. And I feel like the only thing though, this is 8-in-1 capacity, and this is 9mm double stack. So this I think has 15. I don't know. I'll put it up here, whatever specs. But
You got 7 more rounds to pump in, dummy. You know what I'm saying? So this is the bigger bullets, a lot of knockdown, longer barrel, great precision, really cool fiber optic sight on the end.
this one, here, let's do this. Maybe this will. Can you see that fiber optic? Yeah. And then this doesn't have fiber optic, but it's got bright white. And I'm calling it bright white. And I don't even know if that's what they call it, but I call it bright white, or white sights, and they're bright. I wanted to show the trigger pulls on a Colt 1911 versus a Beretta Storm, PX4 Storm, and the significance between the two brands and manufacturers to me and our United States history when it comes to the military with sidearm carry. And right around I'm going to say 1989, I went in. 1990, maybe 1990 to 1991, they did the switch over to the Beretta. And I don't have the nomenclature in my head for this conversation, so I'm going to put it right here. It is a hell of a gun, still a hell of a gun, but I just don't love it. So I just went manufacturers on this for my historic keepsake in my collection of guns.
I have it. It makes me feel good.
I've got guns, and I have reasons why I have each gun in my head, why I picked them out, price-wise, performance, origin, history, stuff like that. That's my collection, and that's how I keep it and collect it. I've got, that's how I do.